Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Montague High School, where right now the North Muskegon Norsemen are entering the floor of competition as we await the start of tonight's West Michigan Conference contest between the visiting Norsemen from North Muskegon and the host Montague Wildcats. Well, with me in the booth here tonight is Jeff Peterson. Welcome back, Jeff, to another Wildcat broadcast. We're glad to have you in the booth again this evening.
Oh, good evening, Larry. Nice to be back.
North Muskegon has had a rather disappointing season. If you're a Norse fan, their record stands at 1-16 overall, and they have yet to win a league contest. However, I don't know if you were there, Jeff, but I was at the North Muskegon game when we played them down at the home of the Norse, and I believe we were only up by 4, 36-32 at halftime over North Muskegon, so they can give us a run for our money.
Well, during the course of the season, they've given a lot of the teams in the conference a run in money. They just haven't been able to close it out at the end. And if you look at their roster, though, Larry, you'll see that all they have on that varsity roster are 3 seniors. Everybody else, underclassmen, a couple sophomores, and even 1 freshman.
Indeed, a starting freshman at that. At one guard, Cam Belash.
And I think the other thing people are going to enjoy watching tonight, we've got one of the real exciting players, not only in the West Michigan, but in this whole area out here tonight, in Rondell Hutchison. I think if he'd have been able to play a whole year, you might have seen an all-state player in Class D.
Rondell Hutchison is averaging about 21 points per contest. When we played him at North Muskegon, he had 18 against us, and it was kind of like the Rondell show that night. He was probably their leader in assists, and he's just a good all-court player.
Well, he knows where things are in the court, and he knows how to get the ball to people, but he also knows how to put the ball in the hole, and that's what he does best. Lots of quickness, and people, of course, follow the football will remember Rondell as being one of the leading backs in the area and making All-State in that sport.
Well, Jeff, the Wildcats enter tonight's game with a record of 14 victories against just 2 defeats, one at the hands of the Oak Ridge Eagles and the other, of course, the opening contest of the season against the Whitehall Vikings. And we have, after tonight, 2 league contests remaining. We will host the Mason County Central Spartans on Friday evening, this coming Friday. And then a week from tonight, we will play Holton in a non-conference contest, and then close out the season March 2nd by traveling to the home of the Bulldogs down at Ravenna. And Ravenna is right in the thick of things yet.
Well, they've just been gelling as the season's been going, and early on they had the players, they just couldn't get everything together, and they're tough. In fact, if you remember when they played them here, they played close to us throughout the ball game, and it was just a 4th quarter spurt by the Wildcats where things were just turned completely around.
That's exactly right. Interestingly enough, the Bulldogs play both Montague and Whitehall one more time yet this season, so they stand a chance of still tying at least for the conference championship. They now have 4 defeats, but should they defeat the Vikings and the Wildcats, they could be in the thick of things at the end. Well, the North Muskegon Montague Wildcat game is about to get underway, and we're going to go to the floor for pregame introductions and the singing of our Star-Spangled Banner. Miss Tara Gray, Montague High School student, singing the national anthem before our contest begins tonight. Another nice rendition, Jeff.
Very nice job. All the students, in fact, all of the groups, not just students, but all the groups that Coach Tate has picked during the course of the year have done just a super job.
Starting lineups, number 30 for North Muskegon, 5'11" senior, Rondell Hutcherson. Cam Balash, number 32, freshman, 5'11" guard. Number 42, Jeff Smith, a 6'2" junior, starting at one forward. At the other forward, 5'11" sophomore, Nathan Gates. And at center, another sophomore, number 40, Zach Bauer. Now, Zach Bauer, Jeff, is just up from the junior varsity team and will be starting as a sophomore for the North Muskegon Norse this year, this contest. Starting for the Wildcats, number 20, Scott Lindquist, sophomore, 6 foot, number 20. Kevin Bushberger, number 32, 5'11" senior. At one forward, number 34, 6'4" junior Doug Schlaff. At the other forward, number 42, Mark Schneider, 6'1", 11th grader. And Rob Smith, number 44 at center, 6'3" senior.
Well, you know, Larry, we're not going to see too many upperclassmen out there tonight. In terms of seniors, that is.
That's for sure.
You can almost, in some respects, call this a junior varsity ball game, but a little bit more at stake.
The North Muskegon Norse are coached by Mr. Greg Wyman, and the Montague Wildcats, of course, by Mr. Jim Tate. Fans probably noticed that Kevin Bushberger is starting tonight, number 32. Eric Webb has been ill. Did not feel good in practice yesterday and is still a little under the weather. So Kevin Bushberger gets the start tonight, and Kevin's done an excellent job for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you know, that's a real good thing for Kevin to get that opportunity too, because he has played so well and so hard for the Wildcats, and to have this opportunity is just a real good thing to see.
Well, the Wildcats control the tip, and it is Kevin Bushberger that controls at the top of the key as the Wildcats set up against a 2-3 zone. Right side baseline deep, no good, nothing there. Rob Smith going left on the left baseline shot, up, in. 2-0 with 7:36. The Wildcats get on the board early. Lindquist against Hutcherson. Hutcherson, remember, averaging 21 points, and he has his first 2 of tonight's contest.
And there's one of the reasons, that quickness, and I got Scotty going one way, and it just stopped right on the dime and jumped up and popped her in. Nice touch.
Mark Schneider for the Wildcats. Back to Kevin Bushberger. Into Doug inside, back out on top. Mark Schneider, no good. And the rebound comes off to the Norse. Nathan Gates with the rebound there. Gates up over the timeline. Rondell Hutcherson, he's their mainstay. You can see why right there. He just drove through the Wildcat defense again and makes it 4-2 Norse.
Well, they've got to keep him outside, Larry. They can't let him drive, and Scott's got to get help when he cuts in. They can't let him get to that basket. Can't even let him get into the blue.
Doug Schlaff, baseline drive, no good. And we're going to have a jump ball as Doug Schlaff follows his shot, and Zach Bauer was there with him. And
awful quick whistle, but I guess the referees had a better view of that than we did. I believe that's White's ball on the.
It is indeed. Nathan Gates to throw the ball in for the Norse. Cam Balash. Now Rondell Hutcherson. Bringing it up against the Wildcats man-to-man defense. Over to the right. Back out on top now. Good. 6-2 North Muskegon as Cam Balash sinks it.
Well, you know, the Norse come in here awful loose, Larry. They're not tight at all. They've got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, indeed.
Everything
That's
to gain.
correct.
And they're just playing excellent basketball.
Kevin Bushberger back to Lindquist, inside to Smith, and he's up and good. So Rob Smith has 2 buckets for all of the Wildcats' 4 points at this point in time. 5:57 remaining. 6-4 North Muskegon. Rondell Hutcherson once again down low to Zach Bauer. Back to Rondell. No good, a little short this time, and Mark Schneider comes away with the ball, number 42, hustling it up the court. Over it is to Bushberger over the top, but Smith is right there, and Smith goes up, misses a shot, but he's fouled.
Rob did a nice job of getting that rebound and then drawing that foul as he went up strong to the basket. And he's going to get a chance now to add 2 more to his total. and, of course, to the Cats total.
Rob Smith, a 79% shooter from the stripe this year. 52% from the floor, Jeff. That's pretty good average from the floor as well. In fact, he's the leading Cat scorer from the floor percentage-wise.
I'll tell you, at this level, I think anything over 45, 46% is just excellent. You can hit 52% of your shots. You're doing a heck of a good job.
Rob sinks the 2 from the line and ties it up 6-6 as Rondell comes back for the Norse. Out on top, over to the right side now. Balash driving the baseline up. No good, and Doug Schlaff comes away with the rebound. Ahead it goes to Buschberger. Buschberger pulling up to Schlaff. Lindquist looking to the paint, nothing there. Gets back out to Schlaff.
You know, Larry, good quickness by the Norseman, not just Mr. Hutchison, but all of the Norse are moving real well. As Doug Schlaff put that one in for 2. And the Cats take their first lead tonight, 8-6.
North Muskegon driving the paint. There it is back to Balash again from the side. No good. Rob Smith up with the rebound. Back to Mark Schneider as Rob was cut off. Doug Schlaff up with a shot. No good. Lindquist with the rebound. Up. Good. Nice position by Scott Lindquist that time. And went back up for the 2. 10-6 in favor of the Wildcats.
Now I watch for Rondell do a little bit of his own work right here.
Well, he's done a lot of work for the Norse all year long, and
there
the nice feed off there to number 42 underneath. The forward Jeff Smith, 6'2" junior, brings the Norse within 2 with 4:15 remaining in the first quarter.
You know, Larry, I think you're going to see Rondell call his own number a number of times when they need points. He's going to be able to do that, and if he doesn't get the basket, he's going to be able to dish it off to somebody who can.
Kevin Buschberger puts the Cats up by 4 with the 18-footer from the left baseline area. Rondell now driving the paint. Through it goes and up into the basket, and through it goes as he gets around Lindquist that time. And as you mentioned before, going to have some help on Rondell in the center.
I went around Scott, and he didn't get anybody to come over and rotate to him. And I think the offside men are a little bit shy of doing that for fear he's going to dish off, and they're going to look bad. But they've got to do that, and somebody's got to come and help them out.
Another nice pass from Rondell, but the shot is blocked that time by, I believe that was Schneider that blocked the shot. We're going to have a foul called on the play. The first personal of the evening here being called. Zach Bauer, number 40, first personal. That's the second team, Jeff. I guess I missed one somewhere along the way.
I think I must have too. I don't. Rob Smith got position on the inside, took it up. I don't remember who got the foul, but took it up into the basket and got 2 foul shots.
Okay, that's right. There's Rob Smith on the inside again. A little short on the dog shot that time. Rondell once more, right straight down through the center. Quick, quick, quick.
Quite a ball player.
You're averaging 21 points per game in this league. You're doing really, really well, of course. Any league for that matter. Scott Lindquist over the top this time. Nice rebound by Doug. Eric Webb into the contest. Good with his first shot of the night. 14-12 Montague. Montague putting a little more pressure on the ball this time.
Yeah, I think without Rondell handling that ball up court, they're going to put some pressure on.
Oh, in and out. Nobody can seem to control. Rondell gets it back, however, and Norse are going to set it up again with Cam Balash looking to put it down right. Lindquist on Rondell. Nathan Gates from the outside. Over to Balash. Drives the paint. Nice block by Eric Webb that time. Jump ball.
Well, Eric stayed right with him, and when he went up, Eric had all ball.
So the Wildcats will bring it up. 2:22 remaining, 14-12 Montague in the first quarter here. Eric Webb, Ryan Anglem, back to Eric. Now Ryan again from the left baseline deep, over the top, and it's going to go out of bounds to the Wildcats, I think, as it goes off from Jeff Smith, number 42. Matt Cotter in for the Wildcats, and Kevin Buschberger back in as Lindquist and Smith get a rest.
One thing I would think that was going to wear on. Nice
move by Matt Cotter. Nice rebound and basket by Matt Cotter Excellent play
that should have
time.
been a technical foul or should have been 2 points, Larry, as the player went up and slapped that backboard, caused it to move, and that's illegal.
Rondell, I think he has 12 of the North's 14 points already, Jeff.
And the fans wanted a carry on that, but it was just a nice move. He had picked up the ball and took his legal steps.
Eric Webb, down right to Kevin Bushberger. Set shot from the corner is good. 4 points for Bushberger, 18-14 lead for the Wildcats, 1:28 remaining. Rondell across the line to Gates, now back to Rondell. Rondell looking left, and he's going to be called for the travel this time, Jeff.
Well, I'll be curious. It's too bad that Eric's not feeling well, but although he hasn't played like that as of right this moment, but he might not have stamina to stay with Rondell. But right now he's guarding Rondell, so it'll be curious to see quickness against quickness.
Doug Schlaf from the right baseline makes it a 6-point lead, the biggest lead of the night, I think, so far, with 1 minute exactly, 20-14. Rondell across. Nice inside pass that time. Nice move on the baseline, but the ball is lost now. And we're going to have a technical foul, I think, called against Jeff Smith, number 42, but I'm not sure. I believe it was going, Jeff Smith was disgusted that he lost the ball on the baseline, Jeff, and must have made a remark as he turned to run back up floor.
He might want to be careful that he doesn't get another one right now as he's questioning the call.
Matt Cotter going to shoot the free throws for the Wildcats. He's the leading free throw shooter on the team, 86% from the line. 19 out of 22 he was. Now he's 20 out of 23.
I was going to say, let's add to that.
I'd say so for sure. 21-14 for the Wildcats. Matt has nice form on the line. Nice touch. And he does make it another one.
Matt has played excellent basketball, I think, for the Wildcats this year. And sometimes little time he's got, he's just done a very admirable job. And whenever he comes in, he makes things happen, both offensively and defensively.
He surely does. He's made 4 points, got a couple of rebounds so far, and just a couple minutes in the contest. Doug Schlaf on the right baseline, up again. This time it rolls over the top, and Balash comes away with the ricochet. Rondell pulls up this time. There's Gates, back to Rondell, outside the three-point circle. Inside it goes to, okay, there's a foul called on the play as Tyson Zednik, excuse me, was about to get the turnaround attempt.
Doug Schlaf.
It's his first, and the team's first. Play being set up, they're looking for Rondell, but nothing was there at that time. Zach Bauer back to Rondell Hutcherson. Rondell is having a little more difficulty against the experience and the quickness of Eric, Jeff.
Well, I think, again, I don't know it's so much the quickness as it is the experience that Eric has.
Eric with the ball coming down the lane, no good as the quarter ends. Into the first quarter with the score, Montague 22, North Muskegon 16. Fans will be right back after this word from our commercial sponsors. Well, Jeff, the first quarter saw the Cats get a 6-point lead, 22-16. But it wasn't all fun and games out there for the Cats either. They had to work to get that 6-point advantage. And, of course, we saw quite a show from Hutcherson.
Well, the Cats played good heads-up basketball. I was very impressed with them. And I think, you know, coming in tonight, it'd be awful easy to have a little bit of a letdown against a team that's 1-16. But Norsemen show you why they're in a lot of ball games, and why if you think you've got the game won before you step on the court, you're going to be in for an awful good ball game. And they just play good heads-up basketball too. They're smart. I think the one thing that might hurt them as the game wears on is just stamina. They don't go as deep as the Wildcats, and then throughout the course of the game, I'm sure that they're going to be worn down as Coach Tate just continues to bring the shock troops off that bench one right after the other.
Good observation. Of course, that's one thing that Coach Tate's been blessed with all year is good depth off the bench. North Muskegon bringing it into play. Cam Blash at the top of the key. Nothing there. Over it goes to Gates. 3-point range as Rondell puts it up. It's going to be short, and Doug Schlaff comes down with the ball. Bringing it up court now. Schlaff over to Rob Smith. Up. Good. 8 points, I think that is, for Rob Smith.
Rob's got that feel tonight. He kind of knows it's going to go in, so give me the ball.
24-16 Montague. 7:20 remaining in the second quarter. There's Rondell again. This time he's harassed by Kevin Bushberger, but puts it up and in. Rondell has that touch tonight, too.
Well, you know, I think the Cats, if they're going to commit themselves to get that steal, they got to make sure they're going to get it, because if they don't, Rondell's going to take it.
Going to go right through.
Make them pay. And I think you want to just play straight heads-up basketball against them.
Rondell's going to be called for the travel that time as he tried to dish it off along the left-hand side to number 32, Cam Balash. But the Wildcats are going to put it back into play as the official is doing a little
some gum there.
Little house cleaning duty here. Coach Tate coming out on the floor to give him an assist.
Boy, you know, Larry, that's about the worst thing you can have on a basketball floor is gum. I tell you, one of the players come in and you naturally slide a little bit when you stop, and you hit that gum and you stop a little bit quicker, and you can blow out a knee so easy, and I just don't like to see that at all.
Interestingly enough, that's about where Hutcherson was when he got that travel too. That might have been an influence there to that turnover.
You'd hate to see any one of these kids have that happen and possibly end a career.
Lindquist off to Bushberger. Bushberger driving inside, drops it to Schlaff, picked up by Schneider. Rob Smith looks to the left. Schlaff for the ball, back to Smith. And left baseline shot, up, over the top. And Zach Bauer, the sophomore up from the JV, comes down with the ball for the Norse. Rondell now off to the right. Shot goes up, no good, and the Wildcats come down with the ball. That's one thing the Cats have had good luck with tonight as Lindquist makes the two for Montague.
Nice play by Scott Lindquist. Just a beautiful touch on that.
Outside of the times when Rondell has made the shots go in, the Wildcats have pretty much controlled that defensive board, Jeff, not allowing them more than one shot at the basket.
Well, I've been real tickled to see that. They've certainly worked on that a lot since the Oak Ridge game, and you can tell.
Turnaround jumper is good this time by number 45, Tyson Zednick, a junior 6'1" forward.
Coach Tate wants his men to get up a little bit tighter on those guys in the shooting. I think he thinks, and I would agree, that they're getting too much room to shoot that ball without somebody right in their face.
Nathan Gates, I think, is going to be called for the personal underneath as the Wildcats attempted to go to the baseline. Eric Webb back in for Kevin Bushberger now. And Nathan Gates is also going to get a rest. No, I guess he just went over there for a towel, Jeff. He's back on the court. And it's actually Zednick that's going to sit down on the bench. 26-20 with 5:37 remaining. And Bauer comes up with a steal. And the return steal is made by Schlaff, who throws it right back to the Norse this time. And Dan DeLong
you think
came up with
sometimes
that
those
steal.
guys can't see those other guys in the different colored uniforms in front of them.
That's right, it seems that way. Ball goes underneath. Turnaround jumper is good by Scott Smith. It should just mention, by the way, Jeff, that sophomore Dan DeLong, who made that last steal against Schlaff, is the leading steal man in the West Michigan Conference. Schlaff with a nice inside drive that time. Up for two, 28-22, 5:05 remaining.
Well, this team has proved that they can play with the best. And again, very outmanned, but certainly come right back at the Wildcats, not afraid of anybody.
Cam Blash that time pressured by Lindquist, bounces the ball off from his foot or his leg, and it goes out of bounds to the Cats. Nice defensive pressure that time by Scott Lindquist as Cam Blash tried to drive by him. There's Lindquist, baseline left, back out to Eric Webb. Lindquist once again, nothing there. Eric back out to Ryan Anglem, who's come into the game. Travel is going to be the call this time against Robbie, I believe. Score remains 28-22. Wildcat pressure causing some trouble. Almost a turnover, and now it is. Well, almost is.
A nice hustle by Ryan Angle
Good.
to get that.
Good hustle by Ryan Anglem.
Matt Cotter's coming in this time, I believe, for Doug Schlaff.
Doug has come on strong the last several games, Jeff. He had a little down streak at midseason or so, but the last 3 or 4 games he's come on strong with the rebounding and also the scoring for the Cats, being the leading scorer the last several contests. Lindquist out on top with a 3-point effort. Bounces up and down in front of the rim it goes.
Well, you know, Larry, as we move into the tail end of the season and heading into tournaments, Doug Schlaff is a very key player for us to have going strong at this time of the season. We have to have him as stretch run in the league, of course, and we certainly have to have him as we move into that district and then hopefully on past that.
Rob Smith with his first personal of the evening, second team foul. And now we're going to have a foul, I believe, on Scott Lindquist reaching in on Dan DeLong. That's his first. 3 personal fouls on each team in the half now. Jeff, it doesn't seem like we're almost to March Madness time already here.
It certainly doesn't, but I guess when you're having fun and you're 14-2, things move along pretty quickly, and things go so quick you don't realize that.
Nice steal that time, and head pass by Ryan Anglem to Eric Webb, who gets the 2. Nice defense by Anglem.
There's another player, you know, not much is said about, but Ryan Anglem has given the Wildcats some awful good minutes.
Nice basket that time by Dan DeLong. Absolutely correct. I believe in the game last Friday night, Ryan had 10 points.
Well, I think that just shows what he can do when he just gets a little confidence in his game.
Ryan Anglem from the top, no good. Lindquist with the rebound. Puts it up, no good. Cats hustling after it, and I think they're going to give it to
I think
Blue.
the Wildcats are going to get it back, right?
As it bounced off from number 32, Cam Balash. Lindquist being replaced by Kevin Bushberger. Wildcats put the ball into play here. 30-24 with 3:17 remaining. 6-point lead for the Cats. Rob Smith back out to Anglem. Kevin Bushberger from the paint. Good. Kevin Bushberger's come on strong with that right-handed push set shot, yeah. Jeff. He kind of lines it up, it looks like, but we don't care. It goes right in.
That's right.
Rondell down on the baseline to Bauer. It's knocked away by Matt Cotter, and Ryan Anglem comes up with the ball. Another turnover, 8-point lead now for the Wildcats as they come back up court. Eric Webb, no good. Cotter with a rebound, another rebound, and I think we're going to have a foul called as Rondell, I think, goes over the back of Cotter. No, maybe it's... I think that's going to be... foul was not on Rondell. It was on number 44, Scott Smith. That's his first, the team's fourth, so it'll be Wildcat ball out of bounds. Schlaff out on top. Wildcats passing it around the perimeter now. North Muskegon staying with that 2-3 defense that was used so effectively against the Wildcats here again by the Oak Ridge Eagles. Eric Webb up with a shot. Good. Good recovery.
It's one of those things where, oh my gosh, here I am. What am I going to do now? It looked like, and Eric, being the good athlete he is, was able to recover and notch up 2 quick points.
Rondell Hutcherson misses the layup, finding himself all alone. I think he was probably surprised to see no one near him that time.
Well, I think he was surprised, as any of us were, that he missed it too.
I'm sure he was, but he's going to get a chance to redeem himself at the line here as Doug Schlaff commits the personal over the back of Rondell, trying to get the rebound.
That's part of the athlete he is. He stayed there and got his rebound, and of course Doug went up over the top of him and got the foul.
Hutcherson, a 70% free throw shooter on the season. I guess we're not going to go to the line.
It's a 1-and-1, Larry, and each team has one more foul, and they're all in the 1-and-1s.
Hutcherson misses the 3-point effort. Kevin Bushberger gets a nice rebound. Eric Webb hustles back up. Across the court it goes to Matt Schneider, inside to Bushberger. He gets a nice roll, good touch. 12-point lead for the Cats, Jeff, the biggest of the contest, 36-24.
They can't relax. Now they got 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. Got to keep on pushing it. Just playing tough defense. Run their offense.
Gates, nice move that time. inside baseline drive by Cam Balash from Gates. And that puts the Wildcat lead at 10, 36-26.
Boy, for a freshman, Larry, Balash has played just super.
Oh, excellent ball. You bet.
Knows how to handle himself. Very calm under pressure.
Nice turnaround by Rob Smith, 38-26.
Ball player.
We've outscored the number of points we received at the North Muskegon game down there in the first half. Outside shot, good. Number 33, Nathan Gates. 3-point shot. 9-point lead now with exactly 1 minute remaining in the first half. Webb over to Bushberger. Bushberger driving the right baseline. Nice dish off that time. Nice roll by Smith, but he can't get the basket to roll for him. Traveling is going to be the call against Mark Schneider as the basket goes down, but too late.
I think Robbie, if he could have thought about use that backboard, he could have dropped that in. He tried to lay it up over as he was a little bit off balance, and you can miss by a lot more and hit that backboard and drop it in.
38-29. Drive down the center, paint good by DeLong. Excuse me, that's Campbell Ash, the one we talked about just a minute ago. Nice drive.
Wildcats are going for one shot right now.
Go to the four-corner offense with 20 seconds remaining. Trying to pull North Muskegon out of their zone, and they do. Now there's 14 seconds left in the quarter, and Coach Tate tells his Cats to run it. Mark Snyder from just inside the three is good. I believe that's Mark's first 2 points of the night. 40-31 is the score as the three-point shot from way far downtown just goes off the front of the rim at the end of the first half. The score is Montague 40 and North Muskegon 31. Well, Jeff, 36-32 it was down at North Muskegon, as we mentioned earlier, so the Cats had 4 more and the North Muskegon Norse one less than before, but we've seen a good first half.
Excellent first half by both teams. Might call it home court advantage for the difference up here versus down there, but I think after last Friday night and the Cats game that they're a little bit more tuned in to what they have to do, and they certainly don't want to put Whitehall back in the driver's seat as they are right now with them, and they control their own destiny. So I think that you saw a good half of basketball while Wildcats, and as I said, Norse came in here pretty relaxed. They didn't have anything to lose, so, they played an excellent half of basketball as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another timeout here for a commercial break. We'll be right back after these words from our commercial sponsors. Welcome back to Montague High School, fans, where we're at halftime of the contest between Montague and North Muskegon with a 9-point lead in favor of the Wildcats, 40-31. In that first half, as the Wildcats come back on the court, I think they'll remember the name of Rondell Hutcherson. We mentioned Rondell several times, of course. He's the leading North Muskegon scorer with 203 points coming into tonight's contest, and that's only in 10 games. Remember, they've played 17, but in 10 games he's amassed 20 plus points, 203 points, which is going on 21 points a game. Rondell Hutcherson having an excellent contest this evening, of course. We don't have the stats up here with us, but I would guess he's probably in the neighborhood of 14 or 16 already.
I was going to say, I don't think we've done anything to slow him down from that pace, and we've been good enough to slow some of the other ball players down. Dan Balash has done a nice job for him, and especially nice seeing that he's only a freshman. But those two ball players have really kept this ball team in this ball game.
Rondell Hutcherson is not only an offensive threat, he's also a good defensive player, as we note that he has 34 steals on the season. He's second to DeLong in that category for the North Muskegon Norse.
Larry, I might interject this, that I give credit to a lot of these North Muskegon kids, because kids that are getting the ink, you might say, scoring some, you can kind of rack up some individual numbers now that your season's kind of out of the way. You're only 116, but some of those kids that sitting on the bench, or some of those kids that are the rebounders or the defensive players and don't score a lot, you don't hear about those kids. And it's all hard some nights to come out to practice and things, so I give them a lot of credit for coming out and really making a game of this against one of the top teams in the West Michigan area.
Absolutely correct, Jeff. I think we need to give some credit to our own players, too. We have 3 players scoring in double figures for us right now. Doug Schlaff, we mentioned, has been coming on strong. He's the leading scorer for the Cats with just over 14 points a game. Rob Smith is almost 14 at 13.6 per game. Scott Lindquist is at 10.5 points a game. It's nice when a team has nice, even balanced scoring, and 3 players in double figures as an average doesn't hurt too much.
Well, it certainly helps because when you go up against a team, who do you guard? And, you guard one guy and another guy kills you. So that's very, very important. And the other part of it is that you've got all these guys coming off the bench, and they're always contributing. They're always helping out. They're always doing the things that are necessary, and that's why we're 14-2. This I think, been a phenomenal year with the youngsters, you might call, that we have out there, and of course Robbie, the only senior, and really contributing just a tremendous amount. But as you said, every night they come out, they just play good, solid ball. Everybody contributes. You got 3 guys that are in double figures, and it's just been all around a very, very successful season so far.
Well, we're about to hear the horn blow to sound the beginning of the second half of this contest. The Cats, remember, will be at home to host the Holton Red Devils next Tuesday evening. Holton Red Devils next Tuesday evening. And then, of course, we'll host Mason County Central this coming Friday evening as well. So we have 3 home contests in a row on the docket for the Wildcats. Fans, we also like to remind you that the volleyball contest, the Montague High School Wildcat Gals, will be aired. This Thursday's contest will be aired for the Wildcats as well. North Muskegon putting the ball into play. Shot no good. It goes down court to Lindquist. Pulls up for the jumper, no good. Rob Smith hustles down the floor and almost got the rebound on the offensive board after having received it on the defensive end. Rondell against Lindquist. Up, good. Starting off where he left off, Jeff.
Well, you've got to have a hand in his face. You just can't let him go up unattended because he can knock it down.
Lindquist in the right baseline area. Bushberger. Doug Schlaff in the paint. Up a little short that time, and Rondell comes down with the ball. It's deflected by Lindquist, and Bauer turns around and shoots up good. 40-35, a 5-point contest now. Favor the Wildcats. Less than a minute gone in the third quarter. Wildcats have gone a little cold, and now it's inside to Rob Smith. Blocked. Nice block that time by Zach Bauer. Rondell coming down right down the lane. Up it goes again, 40-37. 4 points for Rondell in the second half already.
Somebody's got to step up right in front of Rondell, and they can't allow him to get that far because he'll take it right to the hole. Make somebody else shoot.
Norseman get the rebound again. Over the right side it goes. Short is Bauer put it up, no good, and in and out is Cam Balash. Excuse me, that was Nathan Gates. Down the other end, it's no good for the Wildcats. And Rob Smith back to Mark Schneider, off the glass, no good. Lindquist knocks it back out to Schneider, up, good. So the Wildcats finally break the scoring column in the second half, 42-37 Montague with 6:08.
Earlier in this third quarter, Larry, the reason the Wildcats have so much trouble is that they weren't rebounding. They get one shot, and they let the Norsemen get 3 and 4 shots at times. But that particular time came down, and they fought for that rebound, got 2 and 3 shots, and finally knocked it down. Maybe we'll get going here.
Beautiful spin move that time by Rondell as he went around Scott Lindquist. Excellent ball control. Doug Schlaff to the paint. Up. Bounces off the back of the rim right to Mark Schneider. Schneider trying to force it inside to Bushberger. Has it deflected. And back come the Norse. Right side pass to Bauer, no good, and Rob Smith comes away with the ball. Mark Schneider now goes down the left side. Rondell forces the action inside. Schneider, good.
You know, that's what Mark should have done the last time. Coach Tate was a little bit upset with him. You get that 7-foot shot, don't pass it off. You're not going to get a better one than that, and that's why he's out on the floor. He's got to knock those down.
44-37 Montague. Inside to Bauer. Turnaround, no good. Rondell tries to knock it out, but it comes away to Buschberger. Buschberger right down the center. Up. Off the back of the rim, and the jump ball is going to be called with Mark Schneider and Nathan Gates both contesting the ball.
Well, Kevin did the right thing there. He saw that opening, blew to the hole, and just couldn't drop it, but that was the right thing to do.
Eric Webb and Ryan Anglem in for the Wildcats as Buschberger and Schneider get a rest. Rondell is all set to go now after a little shoe tying. Doug Schlaff outside, two-point basket as Doug just had his lead foot on the line. 46-37, Wildcats. 4:45, Rondell against Lindquist. Rondell once again up, good. Magnificent moves by Rondell, and Scott just having a little trouble staying with him.
Yeah, Scott's learned a lesson tonight, and that's good. You learn that next time you come down. You know those things if you see another ball player like those, and you learn from that. He's, as of course night's gone on, I think Scott's got better. It doesn't seem that way because Rondell's just such a super athlete, but he's staying closer to him, and he's learning those moves, and that's what you got to do.
Rondell against Eric Webb this time, good. 48-41. Ryan Anglem down the other end sunk that last basket for the Wildcats. Nice turnaround basket by Ryan. Webb off to Lindquist, inside to Rob Smith. Good from the baseline.
Well, back and forth we're going to go. We're going to swap points, and that's not what the Wildcats want to do.
50-41, a 9-point lead, same as at the start of the second half. Rob Smith going to be called for the personal against Bauer.
And there wasn't much there, Larry, except that Rob was trailing his man. They got the ball inside, and Bauer just grabbed the ball, leaned back on the basket, and Rob was there. He's going to get that foul every time.
So Bauer will be at the free throw line. Bauer shooting 27% on the season, but he sinks that one clean as a whistle. One more effort now, one more attempt. It was the first team foul on the Wildcats, 50-42. Rob Smith with the inside position. Eric Webb with a foul that time. Rob couldn't control the rebound, knocked it over to Nathan Gates, and Eric committed to personal. 50-42, the score remains with Eric getting his first personal of the evening.
And this is the very thing you really don't want to happen against a team like North Muskegon. Let them stay close. Let them stay close, because all that happens is that confidence just grows and grows and grows, Larry, and you find yourself down at the end of the ball game with them a chance to win it.
7-point contest now, and now a 6. Well, Jeff, I think we ended up winning by 16 points at North Muskegon, but it wasn't until the fourth quarter when the Cats finally lit the fire and tried to pull away a little bit. We're going to have an offensive foul on Robbie that time as he moved underneath and right into Jeff Smith. That's his third personal, and Matt Cotter is going to come in to replace him right away. Well, Rob's gotten the ball inside several times. That time he just wasn't successful before the foul was committed.
Well, he didn't have that position, and he used his elbow to move the man out and got the foul.
Rondell, no good. Doug Schlaff with a beautiful rebound that time for the Cats. And we note that Coach Tate has switched Eric Webb over to Rondell on defense. Lindquist from the right baseline area, no good. Or nothing there, I mean. There's the basket from the outside by Eric Webb. I guess I spoke a little ahead of time, but it sure looked like that one was going into me. 52-44.
I'll tell you, both teams are shooting at a pretty high percentage tonight.
Yes,
Larry.
they are. Wildcats shooting about 43% on the season, and their opponents overall about 41%, so they're pretty even, actually. The Norths are shooting 44% on the year. Rondell from way outside. That was an NBA three-pointer.
You bet it was.
52-47, a 5-point game, and Rondell Hutcherson, I don't think I've ever seen him play any better than he is right now, Jeff.
Well, this is my first time watching Rondell, and I'm very much impressed.
Eric Webb back out on top to Schlaff, down the corner to Lindquist, up from the outside, in and out, can't get it to drop. And Gates comes away with the rebound. Campbell Ash, the freshman, off to Rondell. Intercepted this time by Eric Webb, and we're going to have a foul called on Nathan Gates, number 33. Looked to us like perhaps the ball went off on the knee of Eric, and maybe the official saw a push from the backside.
That must be exactly what he saw, because I would agree with you. It looks like it just came off Eric's knee as he was crossing over.
Lindquist getting a rest. Bushberger back in. Ryan Anglem up, good. Ryan Anglem with a nice soft touch again from the side. Nathan Gates, Rondell Hutcherson. Rondell trying to force it inside, draws the personal on, I think, Eric Webb. Wildcats collapsed nicely on Rondell that time, Jeff.
And I think they'd been all right, but I think it was a little bit of a reach there and a bump, and now
I guess the personal is going to be called on
Matt
Cotter, number 54. That's his first and the team's fourth. Lindquist coming back in to give Eric a little breather. Eric, remember, not feeling well tonight. He's been fighting the flu symptoms. Bauer over to Rondell near the baseline against Lindquist. Back out on top, short this time. Cotter with the ball, tried to keep it in bounds. He didn't quite have his hands wrapped around it, and it rolled out of bounds. 54-47, 1:21 remaining in the third quarter. Nathan Gates, left baseline area, back out on top. Cam Belash, the freshman, against Kevin Bushberger, the senior. Belash up, no good, and Cotter having a little difficulty with the rebound again, and now commits the personal.
Matt's had a little trouble with that ball the last couple times, and that's cost him dearly. He got a 2-point basket on that, and now he's going to the line for a chance for three.
Basket did count, 54-49, 1:11 remaining. No good is Bauer from the line. Doug Schlaff, another nice rebound. Rondell trying for the steal. Bushberger takes advantage. Can't get it to drop. Off the back. And we have Rondell coming up court. Jeff Smith got the rebound that time. There's Campbell Ash from the outside. No good. Bauer, good from the baseline left. Off the glass. 3-point contest, 54-51. 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Well, Larry, again, we're not getting any rebounds. We're getting one shot, and we're going down the other end.
Lindquist from the right baseline area. Good this time. Ball accidentally knocked after the basket. Norris coming back up with 30 seconds remaining, 56-51. Belash, remember, he's a freshman. Doesn't play like a freshman, though, Jeff.
No, he certainly does not.
Gates from the outside. Nice block out that time by Ryan. Gets the rebound. And now he comes across the timeline. We've got 10 seconds left. Ryan Anglem from the left baseline area. Back out. Lindquist from three. No good. Cotter up short at the buzzer. And so the score at the end of 3 quarters of play is Montague 56. North Muskegon 51. And we'll be right back for the conclusion of tonight's contest after this word from our commercial sponsors. Well, Jeff, we have 8 minutes remaining in the contest. The Wildcats had a rough third quarter. That's often been true for the Cats throughout this year. Remember, they were up by 9, I believe, at halftime, 40-31, and now they've dropped that down to a 5-point difference. So the North Muskegon is hanging in there tough, just like they did against us at their own court.
Well, it's put-up time right now, and the Cats have to come out and start playing a little bit better basketball overall. Again, we talked about getting one shot, nothing else, and the Norsemen are coming down, running good offense. And a lot of times that offense means you get the ball to Rondell, and Rondell will put it in. But still, they know where to go, and they're getting the job done. And the Cats have to stop that. I noticed here right towards the end that the Cats were doing a pretty good job of shutting down Rondell, but other men were getting open, and we've got to get a hand in their face as well.
Lindquist over to the right-hand side to Bushberger. Bushberger has the ball taken away. Lindquist gets it back. Oh, Lindquist trying to dish back, throws it right to Balash, and down it goes to Hutcherson. Beautiful, beautiful ball control move by Hutcherson.
I don't know what to say about that, Larry, except you just said it. It was beautiful.
56-53, 3-point difference. Bushberger, Lindquist, Schneider, Schlaff, and Schlaff is going to be fouled over the back by number 33, Nathan Gates. That's only going to be the second team foul of the half, however, on the visitors, so we'll have the ball out of bounds underneath the Wildcat basket. Gates.
Norsemen have done a good job, Larry, sitting back in that 2-3 zone, denying the ball inside and making us take that outside shot. And when we haven't been able to hit, they've been getting the rebounds.
3-point basket by Doug Schlaff.
Of course, that's the best way to bring somebody out of that 2-3 zone right there.
Yes. I believe that's the first three-pointer of the evening for the Cats. Balash looking inside, and there's going to be a jump ball as number 45, Zednik, who just replaced Gates in there, tried to turn and drive. He was tied up by Doug.
Excellent play by Doug Schlaff. He just rotated off his person as the ball went inside, and the person turned to him. Doug just went down and grabbed the ball. Didn't slap at it, went down and grabbed it, and that's a good lesson for young kids to learn.
Great move by Kevin Bushberger that time. Now it's off to Schlaff. Up, good. Well, the Cats have started the fourth quarter with a little more intensity, and that was certainly lacking in the third quarter, Jeff.
Right.
61.
And with that, Coach Greg Wieman wants a timeout, and I think it's an excellent call.
61-80 or 53, an 8-point difference, and Greg Wieman, as you say, could sense the fact that the tide was turning against his Norsemen, and took a very wise timeout there. You know, the Cats have played with great intensity in many of their contests this season, and that's what we need this fourth quarter. And we were starting out that way. Unfortunately, for three quarters tonight, we didn't have a lot of that, and we haven't had it in several of the other recent contests as much as earlier in the season either. So it's good to see them putting on a little pressure and coming through strong here at the start of the fourth quarter, Jeff.
Well, a lot of these kids, as we alluded to all year long, are young. They haven't had the experience of going through a conference race at the varsity level, and with that, I think comes that play that you see at times, that kind of nonchalant, we can kind of get by type of play, and I know that they don't mean that, but that's it kind of looks like they get kind of lulled into thinking, well, everything's okay, and what they have to do is really clamp up tight on defense and play good offense on out the rest of the ball game.
Doug Schlaff made sure the Norse didn't get two shots that time with a nice power rebound. Eric Webb back to Schneider. Doug Schlaff along the left baseline, stops up. Nice short jumper, no good. And the rebound was taken by Jeff Smith. Rondell down to the paint, up short. Eric Webb with the rebound. Behind the back dribble. Eric tried to pass the ball to Scott Lindquist, and they didn't quite connect that time, but Eric had the right intentions.
Well, I think Eric let Rondell know that, listen, I'm in the same ballpark as you, and I can do some of the things you can do.
Smith on the left-hand side, looking to drive the paint, does, up, good. Jeff Smith, number 42, 6'2" junior, makes it a 6-point contest now, 61-55 in favor of the Cats. 5:50 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the end of the game only a little more than 5 minutes away. Mark Schneider, short on the outside shot, saved by Rob Smith. Eric Webb in. Lindquist just inside the three-point range. Can't get it to go. And Rondell comes away with the ball. The Wildcats are not shooting a very high percentage this evening in the second half, Jeff.
No, they started out real nice and hot and had trouble since.
That was a beautiful pass underneath. Jeff Smith couldn't make it go, however. Nice move that time. Eric Webb went right around Rondell that time.
A little quickness at the other end.
Absolutely correct. 63-55, 8-point game. Now Rondell comes back to the paint. Off the left baseline, no good. Eric Webb with the rebound. Over it goes to Rob Smith. Can't get it to go, and Rondell comes back the other way. The horse is running up and down right now. Beautiful pass by Rondell. And Zednik misses the layup.
Well, you know, Rondell hasn't been getting very much help from his teammates. They've missed 3 pretty good shots, 1 a layup and 2 uncontested shots.
Going to have a foul on the inside. As Mark Smith is going to be fouled from the backside, I think, by number 40. That's Zach Bauer. Kevin Bushberger coming in for Eric Webb, and Ryan Anglem in the contest for Mark Schneider. Zednik also getting a rest, and Gates coming back into the game. Bushberger inbounding on top to Doug Schlaff. Kevin now setting up the play for the Wildcats from the top. 4:30 remaining exactly, 63-55, 8-point contest. Ryan Anglem to the left baseline area. Lindquist inside to Smith. Nice turnaround jump off the glass. Nice touch that time by Rob, Jeff.
Well, nice movement by the Wildcats with that ball. They moved it around and got a little bit better shot and popped it in.
Gonna have a foul as Rob Smith gets the rebound after Rondell missed a 3-point shot.
I think number 33, that's Nathan Gates, got that foul, and I believe that's his 5th.
His 5th, you're right. 5th personal against Gates. Gates has done a nice job for the Nords tonight. I don't think he had a lot of points to show for his effort, but he did a nice job on the boards and was especially effective early in the contest. So we have 4 minutes now remaining in the game. 65-55, a 10-point game. Favor the Cats. Lindquist from the outside. Can't get it to go. Rondell with the rebound. Comes back across the timeline. Stops, pulls up, shoots. No good. Off the back of the rim. Schlaff comes away with the rebound. Nice rebound by Doug Schlaff. Kevin Bushberger inside the paint area. Up and good. Good move by Kevin that time.
Excellent move by Kevin as he worked his way right into paint and went straight up with that shot. And that's what you want to do. You get that close. You don't want to back off or pass.
Timeout again as Coach Greg Weeman sees the clock saying 3:31 and his Norseman trailing by 12, 67-55. Knows he has to come up with some magic touch here in the last 3 minutes. Well, we have a brief timeout, Jeff. We'd like to take a minute to wish the best of Wildcat luck to 2 of our wrestlers who are going to the individual state finals this coming weekend, January 23rd and 24th in Battle Creek. Ruben Panetta at the 103-pound weight and Jamie McElrath at the 160-pound weight level are going to be competing in the state competition. Each has a very good chance of at least a place in the state to come home with from Battle Creek. Ruben Panetta last week in the regionals lost by just a couple of points in the very final closing seconds of the contest to the supposedly the best wrestler in the state in any class. And he's looking forward to getting back at that action this weekend. Eric Webb with a steal as the play resumes. And we're going to have a foul called on number 32, freshman Cam Balash, as Eric drove for the layup.
We know, Larry, wrestlers are a different breed, but I'll tell you, they put an awful lot of hard work up on that canvas at times, and a lot of people don't see them. But boy, they certainly deserve every ballyhoo that they get. I'll tell you, it's a long, hard season, and my best goes out to each of those young men as they head into the state championship.
Eric Webb, good for 2 from the line. Webb shooting 54% from the line this season. Rondell Hutchison driving left, around Eric, up, off the back of the rim again. Rob Smith with a nice rebound effort, coming up court against Rondell. Kevin Bushberger with a pass from Rob Smith is fouled. Well, Rob Smith thought he wanted to go against Rondell a little bit that time, and he did. He got it up and made the pass off to
Well, you know,
Kevin.
Larry, those forwards and those centers, those postmen, they always like to get their hands on the ball and be able to bring that ball up the court. It doesn't happen very often, and you know, just to showcase a few of those talents. And I think that's what Robbie wanted. Of course, I think Coach Tate would much rather see the ball in the hands of the men he has designed to bring that ball up.
Bushberger was good on 1 of 2. Rob Smith couldn't get it to drop, and Schlaff saves it. Beautiful save that time. Good ball control, hand coordination by Schlaff. Inside to Rob, up, good. 72-55. 17-point difference now, Jeff, and the Cats are finally beginning to pull away.
Same thing that they did down there at North Muskegon.
Absolutely correct. Rondell with the inside drive. Doug Schlaff. Doug Schlaff has just been a power on the defensive boards tonight against the Norse. Nice inside rebounded tip by Doug on the offensive end.
Well, that's what Doug can do. He just got to go to that basket once that shot's in. He had a nice inside position, just went up, timed it, and popped it up and in.
Rondell from the baseline, good. 74-57, 2 minutes, 15 seconds left in the game. Eric Webb coming up slowly against the Cats. We note, by the way, Jeff, we haven't mentioned, but the Norse are in a man-to-man defense now as Smith knocks the ball away, intended for Rob Smith. Good from the left side, three-point shot by Jeff Smith. Pulls the Norse within 14. Eric Webb once more running the stack offense now. Eric Webb down through the center. Good, nice drive. Everybody just kind of stood there and let him go down the chute, and he did. He'll do that. Going to have an offensive block that time on Kevin Bushberger. Excuse me, a defensive block on Kevin Bushberger.
Kevin didn't quite get over in front of him, and thought he could draw it, but the ball player had the shoulder by him, and Kevin went out and drew that foul.
Olson, Lindquist, Schneider, and Cotter in for the Cats, along with Anglem now, who remains on the court. First shot is up and good by Dan DeLong. DeLong is an 85% shooter from the line. Playing in 14 games, he's 44 for 52 coming into tonight. One more effort now, 76-62 is now the score, 76-62. 14-point difference.
Well, the game is pretty much in the bag, Larry, but I'll tell you what, give a lot of credit to the Norsemen. They certainly are pesky.
Mark Schneider with the ball is followed by Rondell Hutcherson. And so Schneider will go to the Wildcat charity stripe. Remember, Schneider is the second leading, no, I guess he's the third leading free throw shooter among the Wildcats for the season. 1 minute, 30 seconds left. 76-62 is the score. 14-point difference. We just remind fans again that we'll be on the air with the volleyball game. This Thursday's contest against Pentwater in the volleyball division will be aired on Saturday night. And then we'll also be on the air Sunday with the contest against the Mason County Central Spartans in varsity basketball.
And as you were speaking, a nice round of applause you heard in the background, of course, was Rondell Hutcherson going off for his last play of the night. And the fans here in Montague gave him a good round of applause as they saw a good show from Mr. Hutcherson.
Well-deserved hand from the opponents. Fans, they recognize good basketball when they see it, and certainly Rondell showed it to them. North Muskegon inbounding the ball. Blast to Jeff Smith, looking inside, nothing there. Outside three-point effort, no good, and Greg Pointer comes down with the ball. Inside it goes to Pointer, he can't hold the ball. And the Norse come away with it. No good off the glass. That was number 44, Scott Smith. And the Norse are going to be called for the personal here. Mark Schneider going out and being replaced by Sebastian Sommer, exchange student from Germany. Lindquist is going to be at the line shooting one and bonus. 1 minute and 1 second remaining, 77-62. 78-62.
And if Scott makes this and you hear the buzzer again, as he'll be out of the ball game. There it is. Matt Anderson now in, seeing action. So all the Wildcats now have seen action tonight.
That's good. We like to see that as often as possible, of course. Montague is considerably above their season average in scoring tonight. They are averaging about 69 points per contest. Now have scored 79. Sebastian Summer with the rebound. Jake Olson listening for his directions from Coach Tate. Drives the paint and is called for walking. Jake Olson, the senior, sat out the first semester after recovering from a football injury, a collarbone, I believe, Jeff, and it's nice to see him get some playing time.
Oh, it certainly is. And that was a nice move. Referee said Jake just got one little extra step in there.
Smith, inside it goes. Turnaround that time. Good. Number 44, Scott Smith. Scott Smith, that is, with the last 4 points, I believe, for the Norseman. Matt Anderson, Greg Pointer, Jake Olson. I think it's going to go out of bounds off the Wildcats' hands. 12 seconds remaining now. 15-point difference, 79-64. And the Norse come across the timeline for what could be the final possession of the contest. Left baseline area, outside shot, falls short. And the ball is going to go into the hands of the Norse as the contest ends. The final score, Montague 79 and North Muskegon 64. Well, Jeff, what can we say about tonight's contest? It's not the prettiest we've seen. It's probably not the most well-played that we've seen. It certainly isn't the most well-played we've seen. But the Cats come away with a 15-point victory. The statistics will show, of course, a W in the win column for us and a loss in the column for the North Muskegon Norsemen. I was impressed by North Muskegon, however, especially Rondell Hutcherson, of course, but you could tell they came to play, have some fun. Like you said several times, what did they have to lose? And, of course, they showed us that they weren't really interested in losing, for sure.
Well, I had my hats off to North Muskegon as well. I think the Cats, a couple things that they can learn from this. One, can't take any team for granted now down the stretch, because certainly would have been a feather in the Norsemen's hat if they'd have knocked this off. Now, the other thing is that the Cats should have learned, as they did well, was times when they passed the ball well. When they came down in a rush and just threw the ball up, they only got one shot. But when they moved the ball around, settled down, ran their offense, as Coach Tate wanted them to do, they put the ball in the hole, and they pulled out that victory in the end.
Well, Jeff, the Cats are going to have to do better than they did tonight, however, this Friday night when they host the Mason County Central Spartans. We went to Mason County and came away with a W, and we won, I won't say easily, but in the fourth quarter we kind of pulled away again. But I think if we play as, I won't say lackadaisically, but without the intensity we need in the first three quarters with Mason County, we're apt to find ourselves on the short end of the stick. We were tied at the end of the third quarter, as a matter of fact, at Mason County.
Well, with the exception of Rondell Hutcherson, I think the Mason County certainly has better athletes at this stage of their careers than North Muskegon does. And you're right, if we don't come out and play basketball like we're capable of for Friday night, we can see things start to slip away, and we certainly don't want to see that.
Well, Jeff, we mentioned earlier on this evening that the March Madness season is rolling around once again. Mason County Central will be the site of the Class C district tournament for us. We'll travel up there the first full week in March. We don't know when that tournament will begin for the Wildcats. We know they'll probably play either Monday or Tuesday, the 5th or 6th. But what makes March Madness so special?
Well, you start all over, you might say. Everybody's equal on equal terms again, and you could have a bad season such as North Muskegon, and take North Muskegon for example. They're 1-17 now. They played in an all-Class C league. They played some pretty good basketball. Now they get to start out all over again, but now in Class D. And of course, they're going to have some pretty tough teams in their district. West Michigan Christian will probably be there, which is always tough. But they get to start brand new, and with a team like that, you never know. With a player like Rondell Hutcherson, you never know. He can hit knock the lights out of that score clock, and any team can be laying back and saying, "Gee, what happened to us?"
Well, we almost found that out last year, Jeff. As you remember, We had the conference championship under our belt and went into the tournaments with our heads held high, and rightfully so, of course. But when we got to the tournaments, we found the teams were looking for us, and both Scottville and Shelby almost gave it to us.
Well, I think, Larry, if you look back a year before that, I think at Hart, the same thing happened. And,
right.
You know, I think it's credit to the ball teams that have played here and to Coach Tate and to Coach Sloff and getting the teams prepared, but also credit to those other teams and to their coaches. And I know when we go up to Scottville, that's a tough place to play in anyways, and knowing that the host team's going to be there, and you know, Coach Schreiber, he's going to have something up his sleeve, and he's had a little bit of a down year this year, and but again, they're starting all over fresh, and they're going to be ready for everybody to come in that place.
Well, the Scottville Spartans, or Mason County Central Spartans, don't have an impressive record. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's under 500. But if we took a look at the scores, several of those losses came by slim margins, 2, 5, 8 points. And oftentimes the Spartans found themselves in the contest down to the final gun almost, and then found a way to lose, basically.
Right, and the other thing, Coach Schreiber talked to me and said that, you know, he never knew which ball team was going to show up. He didn't know that one is going to come out and be intense all through the game and just give it right to the end, or if they're going to start out a little bit lackadaisical, maybe continue through the game lackadaisical and finish that way. But, you know, and that's the thing that we've been so blessed with in the last few years. Our teams have come out and played from beginning to end, and that's the reason we have the records we do.
Well, Jeff, I think that's going to be about it from Montague High School tonight. And fans, we thank you for joining us. We want to once more thank Mr. Steve Jones and the people from CTEC Cable TV, Channel 5, for allowing us the opportunity to put these contests on the air. We also want to once more thank all of our commercial sponsors for making it all possible. So we'll say goodbye until next time from Montague High School, where the final score of tonight's game was Montague 79, North Muskegon 64. Good night.